Honestly, green infrastructure is what I suppose to become a mega trend globally for urban development. We have quite a number of challenges that we face, both in regard of the demographic development, the urbanization challenge that we have, the climate change challenge that we have, and now most recently the Lancet Commission has presented us the figure of 9 million people that dying from environmental pollution every year around the globe. And most of this is actually happening in cities, through cities, and by the doing in cities. So I think we, ICLEI as a city network, has really a great interest with all our members to look into the potentials and benefits of green infrastructure for a sustainable urban development. The most important resources that we have is people. It's people at all levels and basically from all stakeholder groups. But it is the capacity, the wisdom, the energy, the time of people that we can draw upon, and people basically are also our memory that help us to understand what experience we made in green infrastructure projects, in sustainable urban development programs, and carry that forward. They are the facilitators of the process in the end, and those also that put in the commitment. But on top of that, of course, we have other resources, and I would like to refer to both the artificial resources, money, but also to the natural resources that we have, which is the different, if you wish so, categories of nature, which is land, water, air, and our climate. And I think we need to be very wisely spending, using, and replenishing our resources in order to maintain our resources in the long term. What is missing, in my view, is a dedicated creation of a demand. What do I mean with that is basically we have quite a number of indications that there is an interest and appetite in the political arena, also in the financing arena, for green infrastructure and nature-based solutions. But given the evidence that we have that we need to do the most relevant decisions in the next 5 to 8 years in infrastructure, because that is long-term investments, we need to have also another starting point, which in my view is like a requirement on cities to embark on integrated cyclical management and planning processes that basically strive for the localization of what is called the UN Sustainable Development Goals. If we were to be successful, if we succeeded, then definitely the benefit that we all have is a sustainable future that allows us, with our development, with our quality of life, that we allow ourselves to stay inside the planetary boundaries and the boundaries of our nature. And that is definitely a wonderful future to look at. I think the next big step is very many small steps, to be honest with you. So I think we have so many fronts for this battle to tackle. One particularly relevant is, as I referred to, like the political and even, if you wish so, a legislative or a political target on nature-based solutions that would go into the funding, different funding envelopes that we have, and a requirement on integrated management. The second element is to reconsider the financing instruments that we have, potentially at the funding side, EU money, national money, if we were to include, for example, a percentage that we need to spend on nature-based solutions in cohesion fund, in the common agriculture policy, that would be very, very helpful. But then we need also to find a good instrument that invites private sector investment also in green infrastructure at the local level. But it must come in a way that it does not bring money in and takes the profit out. So we must find a facility, an instrument that helps us to create impact assets inside that region so that the money stays in the region for long-term development. And they need to be complemented by local money, by crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, by civic projects, because that is in the end what really makes a difference. I'm getting a little bit impatient, but that is due to my age, I suppose. I'm working for 25 years in that arena, and obviously I would like things to be a little bit more at pace, and I think this is what we collectively actually need to look at. How can we drive the development to meet the challenge that scientists have laid out in front of us. We know enough, we know basically everything about what we need to do, so let's do it, and let's do it in the next 5 to 8 years.